And it's that time. It is that time. I see y'all watching. Put in the chat where you're watching from. This is the Real Money Coach show, live show, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, all of them channels. Y'all come on in. Put in the chat where you are watching from. I'm excited about tonight. I'm excited about our guests. I'm excited about our co-host. I'm excited about Dante running this thing in the background. Y'all, I'm just ready to have a good time. I hope you had a wonderful holiday weekend, Memorial weekend. And let's just say this. Let's just say I really want to just say thank you to all the veterans, all those who give their life for our country, our freedoms, and all of that. Thank you, Kimo. I think I'm saying Kimio Little, Miss Little, that is the island in from North Carolina, Charlotte to Queen City. We got Miss Ward from Colorado. Look, we going nationwide now. I'm gonna see. We got Blythewood, South Carolina in the house. I do believe that might just be my sister-in-law. All right, Kimberly McGuinn from the Queen City. Thank you for being here as well. Dr. Benita Harris. Thank you. And wherever you see Dr. Benita Harris, you know that Miss Ruth Bell is not far behind. There she is. Wonderful conversation with her last week. It's Martin from Concord, North Carolina. Alice Martin from Charlotte. All our regulars are here and some new guests that are watching tonight. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for tuning in to the show. We got a great one in store for you. If you happen to catch the radio show, you know how good a time I had with our guest that will be Miss LaSharee. I like to say it like that. I don't know why. I ain't probably even saying it right. But Miss LaSharee Rogers, Cherie Rogers will be our guest tonight. Brad Hudson, thank you for being here from Belmont, North Carolina. And tonight, I just want to make a couple quick announcements so that you guys can know what's going on. First of all, we will be continuing with our masterclass, the iPad masterclass that's actually taking place within the Generational Wealth Alliance, featuring Dr. George C. Frazier and Janice the Rainmaker Leak, and yours truly. That is Thursdays at 7 p.m. Sheila Edwards, thank you for being here. So that's on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So what happens is I come in and I do a little bit of the masterclass on the book. And on this book, Increase, Protect, and Dominate Your Money. This is actually my copy, y'all, and I'm just wearing it out. I have to get a new one out the box. But we do that at 7 o'clock. And then Dr. George Frazier does his thing at about 7:40 or so, taking us up to 8 o'clock on Thursday. So make sure you go to generationalwealthalliance.net on Thursday at 7 p.m. And then I will be in Nashville. I think Nashville is at the end of June. So before that, I will be at the Spring 2023 Business Expo, which is represented the creator, the founder. She is with us this evening, y'all. So y'all are in for a treat. She has quite a story to tell. Listen, I know you're going to enjoy it. I know many of you are watching are actually followers of this awesome young lady. So we will be there on June 10th. Later, you want to stay tuned, because if you want to attend this event, you will have an opportunity to get a discount off attending this wonderful event in Concord, North Carolina. The following week, I will be part of the MBN Millionaire Mindset that is coming to Charlotte. That also will take place in Concord. There is a new updated flyer. I got to get it to my man Dante that I am on. I will be also be hosting and be a part of that. That will be taking place on Sunday, June 18th. It's a dinner banquet. Bring your dad, have some great food at Mr. Charles in Concord. And then I'm not sure if Mr. Charles is quite in Concord, but we're going to be at Mr. Charles for the banquet. And then we'll return for an evening of networking on Juneteenth, the next day, that Monday. that conference is going to be here, and I am sure it's going to be awesome. We got Dr. George Frazier. We at Malik Yoba will be there. Stan Matthews will be there. Dr. Michelle Walker Davis will be there. Now, listen, you want to come meet Dr. Michelle Walker Davis. She has a grant making business, $850 billion in grant money, right? So she's going to be in the house. She's also part of the Roberts Innovation Group with me. And then sometime the following week, I will be speaking again in Nashville, Tennessee, actually Murfreesboro at First Baptist Church. I'll be doing a debt elimination workshop on Saturday, preaching on Sunday. And then me and my bride, my missus, will head on back to Charlotte Sunday evening. So if you are in that area, make sure you stop by and see us at First Baptist Church, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. That's it. Those are my announcements. And so now I have the distinct pleasure of bringing in my co-host that has been with me. I think June will mark 2 years. She came to fill in for 1 month. And 2 years later, I still won't let her quit. Let's bring on Michelle Mitchell. Hey, Michelle.
Good evening. Good evening.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You know, it just came to my memory that's what you did. You came in June 2 years ago to fill in for Marlon, right? For a month. And here we still listen. We road dogs.
Yeah.
We road dogs. Hey, Kendra, listen, One Journey Coaching and Consulting. Check it out. We had a wonderful show with Kendra.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And was that last week?
Last week. It was last week.
This seemed like so long ago, but it was just last week. So Kendra is a wonderful, wonderful therapist and consultant for therapists and all that stuff. So we are awfully proud of my little sister.
Yes.
I never called her my little sister before, but that sounds kind of nice. My little sister.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she's my little sister. So Michelle, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Did you have a good holiday?
I did. We got some stuff done around the house. Like, I'm kind of happy about that. So, you know, just chilling with the kids.
I didn't do nothing.
You didn't do nothing?
I didn't do nothing. Nothing at all. Carter came over. So, you know, when Carter comes over, he just kind of takes over everything.
Take over the house.
So I had some barbecue, though.
Oh, okay.
But guess what, Michelle?
What?
I made barbecue ribs in the air fryer.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I don't know about that, Tony.
Listen, they was good.
Tony, I don't know about
and
that.
when I ate
Y'all put in the chat what you think. Ribs in the air fryer.
Ribs in the air fryer.
What you talking about? Exactly. Gotta take that right.
Listen, and when I gained back for leftovers, they were even gooder. Michelle, you know I'm just a country boy. You know, I can't help it. Michelle. I can't help it. A lot of great things. June is going to be a really huge month, Michelle.
Dude, you busy.
Yes.
It's summertime.
It's summer. And you know, summer for me is a great time because see, look, Kendra, you said my ribs look good. I sent a picture to the family. So check these out.
Oh, you did.
Right? So here's the thing. Summer is great for me because of all the speaking engagements and stuff that's going on. Talked to George Frazier today, Dr. Frazier. We got PNC conference coming up. And then I got the conference, FFS conference in Las Vegas. I'm booked to go to New Jersey to do a presentation somewhere in New Jersey. I don't even know the name of it, but they just said, you know, come to the country club, do this presentation. So I'm gonna be at the country club, in New Jersey. So so Lisa, come on, let's roll to New Jersey.
Go check it out.
And you know, we'll see what happens. So and you know how I negotiate my speaking prices. I said, well, first of all, you got to pay for my bride to come. You got to pay for Lisa to come. If you can't come, Lisa to come,
Right.
then maybe you don't want me, right?
Right.
But
Exactly.
so I am just happy for the summer too, because she gets to travel with me when I'm doing these things, which we don't normally get to do that during the school year. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about that. We got an anniversary coming up. You guys got plans for your anniversary?
Yes, I just did a small little weekend getaway this year.
Okay.
Just tiny, but it's on Lake Michigan. So
that's cool. So you don't have to go far away, right?
Not far.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think you're actually, not to tell all your business, but I think you're going to be in Charlotte during our anniversary or close to it.
I will be in Charlotte. Yes.
Yeah, on Lisa and I's anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I will.
All right. We're going to have some fun.
We're
going to have some fun, and then we're going to hit the road, which reminds me that we do have another conference coming up in July that you will be a part of.
Yes.
And that is the virtual, what is
the WOW conference? Is it called the WOW conference? I don't know.
I think I'm not sure, but it's Tony Taylor Harris.
Yeah.
And I always think of her going viral.
The viral networking.
The viral networking conference, which will take place. I think they also have booked that to be in Concord at Mr. Charles as well. Okay. So that's going to be a great event. You guys will hear more about that. There will be a VIP dinner the night before, Friday night, and then we'll have the networking event that will take place on Saturday. Michelle will be speaking. I will be speaking. Tony Taylor Harris will be speaking as well about networking. And so it's just going to be it's going to be a great weekend, a great summer. And then we immediately leave and go to Houston and then on to Las Vegas, all in the same week.
Oh, it's a lot.
Now, I do want to say this. I do want to announce that on July 4th, we will not have a show. We will not have a show.
Oh, wonderful.
That falls on a Tuesday. And I was like, yeah, we that's my wife's birthday. Well,
I wasn't going to be here anyway. So
yeah, we're not going to do no show. We're not going to even, I was like, well, we could pre-tape a show and then just run the show. But I'm like, nah, we just going to take it off. And then y'all come back and join us the following week.
Yes.
That sound like a plan?
It sounds like a plan.
All right. Anything you got going on, Michelle, you want to let the audience know about?
Well, I'm trying to take a breather right now, but nothing in particular is actually going on. But we're always here willing to help small businesses generate profit. So
always turn your passion
into profit.
Love it. Love it. Mm-hmm. Well, listen, talking about entrepreneurship, and you Michelle, you like one of my friends that got all these degrees, right? I don't even know, Michelle, I lost count track. I don't know how many masters. Do you have two?
I have two master's degrees.
2 master's degrees. Okay. Yeah. So when I met this young lady and started reading through her profile, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I counted 3 master's degrees. I'm like, you like my friend Michelle, right? y'all are great students, great educators, believe in education. I do too. So LaSharee Rogers is known as the CEO sister.
Right? I love that.
I like that. Multi-degreed educator, business owner, wealth builder with over 20 years of experience. And she's got an MDiv, she's got a master's in philosophy, I do believe, and she's working on her PhD. She is the founder, director, and creator of Upper Rooms Kids Academy. And she is also the outreach director of Upper Room Ministries of North Carolina. And she is the organizer and founder of the Spring 2023, got it right, 2023 Business Expo. And she's in the green room, and let's bring Miss Rogers to the stage.
Oh, this is
welcome. Look at that. Standing applause. How you doing, LaSharee?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We're doing good. We just get together, some old friends, and we just start talking and having a good time. And so we're so glad that you're able to join us tonight.
Listen, I've been sitting in the green room just listening to everything. So yes,
Like they just chatting, like they sitting,
no,
just
I'm still on the ribs and
in the air fryer, right?
that was good. That was good. I gotta try that.
Yeah, you gotta give it a try. It was pretty good, and the easy cleanup. Boop, we
Well,
good to go.
that's true.
I'm just trying to find out, how did you get them to fit inside of you? You must have a nice
Yeah.
No. You want to know my secret, y'all? You just cut them up. You cut each bone and then put them in there. You got to cut each bone and
Each
then
bone.
put them in the air fryer.
Okay.
Yeah. I experiment. I just experiment, and it turned out. So, and
LaSharee,
Yes.
his wife doesn't eat meat, so this makes sense.
Okay.
Yes. This
Okay.
makes sense.
Yes. Okay. It's starting to come together.
you start to get a little,
Right.
So,
I can understand it. All right. That makes sense. Got it.
But me and everybody else ate them except for her. So,
Okay.
and she just looked like, okay.
It was healthier. It was healthier from the air. Was it
Yeah.
Yes.
But just put them on the grill just wouldn't be bad, So people always ask Lisa, well, how do you handle it? Because everybody in your family eat meat except for you, but
yeah,
she's good. I'm actually eating less meat than I used to. So, but it was Memorial Day, so I wanted some ribs.
right.
So back on track here. Miss LaSharee Rogers, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about you and a little bit about your journey to getting you to where you are now, and let's just have a great conversation tonight.
How much time you said I have? Because we go down.
we got another 40 minutes, so you can have as long as you want.
Well, I mean, you said a lot, and again, I appreciate the accolades and I appreciate the words of encouragement. But yes, LaSharee Rogers, CEO sister, originally from Brooklyn, New York. So I'm a New Yorker. I'm a well, right now after being here in North Carolina for 16 years, I think I kind of lost my New York card, as some of my friends would tell me. But originally from New York, here about maybe 16, 17 years, a mother of three. So two boys and a girl. I'm an empty nester now because my babies are all grown up and they're in college now. So, different experience. Not having the kids around, so it's a little different. But I think I'm enjoying. I think I'm adapting well. If I could say it that way. So yes. Founder of Upper Room Kids Academy here in Concord, as well as Upper Room Ministries here in North Carolina as well. So our outreach center. So our child care center, I think we've pretty much been in operation since 2006. Outreach center, 2010. Focusing on just really supporting the community. And we pretty much started out just actually conducting or, doing Bible studies. That's kind of how we started out. And then we started fixing meals for the community. And it just kind of evolved into what it is now. We're just kind of focusing on education, just educate. I'm an educator at heart. Love to see people grow, love to see, people just develop into who they are and who they are, God is calling them to be. So that's just a passion of mine, allowing or seeing people acknowledge their purpose and allowing that purpose to just help them to, translate that into, whether it's entrepreneurship or, whether it is a ministry, whatever that is for them, but just, allowing or would like to position myself to support people in that journey.
Well, that's pretty awesome. And I think you have your awesome journey yourself, and to create these two ministries, nonprofit, that type of thing. But when we were on the radio show, you were kind of telling us a little bit more about the campus, and tell us a little bit about the affordable housing that you are. I don't know how far you are in that process, but
sure,
what's going on with that?
So alongside the academy and also the outreach center, we and I think I gave you the wrong date, Tony, and I apologize, but 2017, actually, my late husband and I, we purchased the campus. I think I said 2019, but it was actually 2017. So we purchased the campus, and in doing so, since that time, we've, I've been able to, again, continue along with the academy. Outreach center is still functioning, operating. We've turned the outreach center into a venue space. So now we have space where, we're, allowing other organizations, they can, lease space, they can come in, they can host events as well. And we also have commercial space that we also lease out. Right now we're partnering with the health centers and of Concord. So that's one of the things that we're doing as well. And now we're working on housing development. So my focus is to create affordable housing in the community, right alongside, right on our campus. So we're creating. I'm trying to create a little city, y'all.
I like that.
I love it. I love the vision. I love the vision of having like a campus.
Yes.
I mean, as long as it don't turn into a cult like a compound, but it's pretty cool. I think that's great vision. And so, and I know we talked a little bit about it. And if you're comfortable, I'd really kind of talk about your journey. You said that your late husband and you guys bought the property, probably had a vision. So tell us how that whole thing has kind of evolved and that type of thing.
So 2017, as I mentioned, we purchased the campus. And of course, we had been working on that campus for a while. So although we didn't purchase until 2017, we were actually in operation. So we were pretty much renting space ourselves. So we were tenants on the campus at one time. And then, just got to the place where we were able to then in turn purchase the property. So in 2017, we did that. We have been working hard, just maintaining, keeping everything up. Unfortunately, after the purchase, 2019, I did lose my husband. He had some heart issues, very sudden, was unexpected. Didn't see this coming at all. We were actually, renovating and doing things in the building. And we had just said, okay, this is it, moving forward from this point on, we were going to start having other people come in and start doing some of this work. But yes, so unfortunately, February, March of 2019, I lost my husband to some heart complications. So yes, that was very challenging, and it's gotten easier. I'm not going to say, it's gotten easier, but, we still, my kids and I, they're doing great. And, I'm very proud of them, even all that has, that we've experienced through that time. Sure. And from then until now, I'm very proud of them to see that, they're moving forward and, I'm definitely doing what it is I know that their dad would want them to do. And, just even moving forward in the sense of, what we've started and being able to continue the process of what we started and making sure that everything that we plan comes to fruition. And, I feel, in my heart, that's what I'm aiming to do. This is what we did. This is who we were, when he was here. And, this is who we would continue to be, because again, I truly believe that this is what he would want to see. So we're going to continue the legacy. So even with the townhomes, we're calling them legacy townhomes, in remembrance of him and what it is that, what he contributes to this vision that we started together. And so we're going to make sure that we get it done.
Well, I think, and Michelle, I'll let you in here too, but because, I get to ask questions and comment. But, I think it's just remarkable. And I'm thank you so much for sharing that and being transparent with it. And I realize that that's not always an easy thing to say, especially, in this environment where you got, people watching and that type of thing. But I just think that it's an amazing part of your journey and your story that people need to hear in terms of how you have persevered through, the unexpected tragedy and these type of things. And we understand, all the things, that the Bible says about being absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. We understand all that, but then there's life that we have to deal with, right? And when it hits us out of nowhere, is you can either pick up your tent and fold it and head out, or you can say, I can pitch my tent. We got a vision. We're gonna make it happen.
And that's, and I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
And that's pretty much, I remember that day, and I spoke about this before. I just remember the day, when my husband, when he passed, and it was a shock. It was, my children were there, we're sitting there, and I just remember I said, you know what, God, you got to give me the words to say, especially to these children right now. What am I going to say to them? But, I sat them down and I just said, we don't know, at this point right now, the only thing I can say to you both is that we know who your dad, we know who your dad was at this point. And we know that what he would want to see for us. And at this point, we have to really, right here at this very moment, we have to make a decision that we are going to live for your dad, in the sense of we're going to continue to live in the sense of it, to live out his legacy. We're going to make a decision right now, because once we leave this building, this is when it's going to hit hard. So I had to have that conversation with them, and I wanted to set that tone right then and there in that moment, because I knew, that grief will start hitting and things will start, coming, and things of that sort. And I just wanted them to have those words, if, when we get to that space, I wanted those words to just set in. We have to continue to live out what it is we started. And this is not to say that we're, leaving your dad behind or leaving things behind. This is just saying that we're still here. And I know that he would want to see and make sure that you guys, that we are successful in whatever it is that we're doing and whatever it is that we will continue to do. So I really wanted to set that tone for them. That was, I didn't know at that time, it was just in that moment. I just knew I had to say something, and just really just, plant that seed. And I believe that that's what I was doing in that moment, just planting a seed, because we knew, I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know how it was going to be. I've never experienced anything like this in my life, but I knew I had two babies sitting in front of me that just lost their dad. I knew myself, I just lost my husband. And I knew that this was definitely going to be a journey, and how this was going to pan out, I didn't know. But as you mentioned, Tony, one of the things I also said to myself is, I sat down and I talked to God, and I said, you know what? I have to trust you in all things.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
I can't trust you with this and then don't trust you with that. And, as hard as it is, and how painful it was, and and still continue to be, I have to trust you, God, in this. I have to trust. I don't know what it is you're doing. I don't know what you just did. It's not making any sense at all. This don't make no sense at all. But God, if you saw me through this, you'll see me through this. It's not making sense, but help me to navigate through this process. For I know that God is always. I can't say there's a time that and I'm not just trying to be what they say, cliches or all of this. I truly believe God has always had my back. And even though this wasn't something that we expected, or it wasn't something that will feel good, or thought, it just didn't feel good at all, and I didn't see God in it at all. But I have to say that my timing and things of that sort, we have to honor what it is that God will have to be, right? And in that, just trusting God in his journey. And that's just pretty much how I saw it. I'm trusting you, Lord. I'm trusting you, Lord. I'm trusting you. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. And as I mentioned, things, we're moving forward. I'm just very proud of my family and how they're, adjusting in the sense of to everything that has been going on.
Well, that's pretty awesome. And
Really is.
What did you say, Michelle?
I said that really is awesome. Yeah.
And your testimony is going to help. Our testimony is not for us, right? It's
right.
I mean, it is for us, because we need to talk. We need to get it out. But there's someone that hears it, right? And they can be encouraged tonight, knowing that God is going to work it out for them. And and that's what I love about our show too, because we come in here and we talk about business, we talk about money, we talk about different things, but we have the freedom to let our faith be our guiding post. And we ain't afraid to talk about it, and we are going to talk about it, and we're going to continue to talk about it, because if we don't honor God, as these rocks are not going to cry out for me. Let me just say that.
Right.
And so thank you for sharing that. So let me shift it a little bit. CEO sister. That branding is pretty
Hey.
cool. Every time I say that, Michelle,
I love it.
where did that come from?
Look. Well, I know I'm a sister, and I'm a
Right.
CEO. So I just took
Exactly.
You
CEO
just
and
put
the
them
sister,
together.
and I just did it. It stuck, it worked, I liked it, and so since then I've that branding and actually have a trademark. So I'm the original CEO sister. So if you see anybody else, just let me know.
Well,
So
what I saw, actually, I saw this today. It was the CEO Sister Circle.
mhm.
And it was a conference that's happening. It said that I was invited. I was like, maybe they thought my name started with an I. I don't know, but or ended with an I. But but I just love that branding. I think that's pretty sweet. And
I
uh,
love it.
yeah,
So I
congratulations on
just took
that.
it and just excited about it, and just really working on the concept. I want CEO Sister to represent, because I've become since I do childcare, I've become the daycare lady.
Right.
Then I'm the lady that's. So I really wanted to structure this to be the very, this would be the brand that represent not just everything that I do, but kind of who I am and my heart to educate. And so I really want, this came out of just this whole business expo, and just the different, yes, I love educating. I love children. I love working with families and serving families, but I also love, now I'm working in the whole aspect now of the business and generational wealth and really wanting to make sure that, we're actually providing and educating the community in this area, and just really wanting to support that, and just really wanted this brand to be that area where where we're educating and teaching the community a lot more about financial literacy, and speaking about insurance, speaking about what else we have going on, just the various areas
Yes.
surrounding generational wealth, if I could say it that way.
Well, and I know that it's my understanding that you've done some conferences before, but those the other conferences was kind of centered around getting therapy, mental health, that type of thing.
Correct.
And now you've kind of, so tell us a little bit about what you've done in the past in that area, because I think that's very interesting too.
So, I mean, just from day one, I've hosted several different events. So I've done multiple year after year back to school events, and every back to school event, there was always some sort of educational, either workshop or seminar where parents had to attend. So before parents can get a backpack, before they can get anything, they had to attend. They had to attend one of the workshops, and the workshops. Well, I can call some teachers in and just ask the teachers, "Hey, share what it is that you would need. What type of support did you need from parents?" I've had it, every different workshop just spoke to parents in a different way to help better support, them throughout the time that their children be in school, and just kind of giving them more information on what the needs look like, So I'm about education. I will give, but I also believe that there needs to be some sort of, pouring out, feeding, dropping nuggets. You don't have to be the all day, 15, 20 minutes, but I believe that, we plant that seed, because I can do this every year. I can give you a backpack every year. I can give you shoes every year. But my heart, I would much rather, provide you with a resource where you can, in turn, now you can become more self-sufficient, where you can do this on your own, create your own, the next year you're supporting us so we can support the next one. And that's my heart. And then moving into some of the other workshops and some of the other expos that we did. So yes, I did host, I had a Mother's Day event for just women. We focused on, just speaking life to women. And then we had our mental health expo, which I just invited different therapists and health organizations that, just focus on mental health, physical health. And we just got in a room and I just had them speaking, and again, we just had the community come out and they just spoke and just really supporting and helping those in the community to have a better understanding of the importance of mental health, and, just speaking to a therapist or just starting the process. It's okay. It's okay. I sat on the chair. Listen, that was the best experience that I have. And I do not have a problem sharing that. I tell everybody that. Since I've done it, I'm like the therapist. I don't have a therapist degree, but you would think I did the way you would think I did. I tell everybody, listen, that was a game changer for me. So again, I take my life experiences, understanding my journey, understanding where I've come from, and just seeing, just coming from here, looking at where I am now. And like most of the people that I've invited even to this event, those who are coming out, these are individuals that have supported me through this process, through this journey of becoming an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur. And I can say that about myself, the success, but it was all those that I believe that, God allowed me to get connected to. And, everyone played a part, from my tax person to to the person. I mean, everyone played a part, even in this new journey of becoming a developer. My engineer, his name is Kevin. I'm like, his name is Kevin. My husband's name was Kevin. And I met him, and I say that because I remember when I met him, and he was just so amazing. And I was like, everything, just held my hand through the whole process, walked me through it, this was new to me. But when I walked away and finally got everything approved and finalized, I was able to turn back to him and say, you know what? Thank you. Because I don't think it would have been that I would have had that experience had it not been for him, being an engineer, being a Black male in engineering, and, not, sometimes being a female doing something like this, you don't find a lot of females in this space. Right. And, having that support and having someone that, have your back, because that was one of the things I knew. I didn't know much about what was going on, but I knew I had an engineer that had my back. And then on top of that, his name's Kevin.
God will do it. God will bring the right people in your life. And now I really want to dive into the expo, but before we do that, I don't want us to miss the opportunity to talk about your book, the 2 books. This is Expo. So tell us about the book.
So I Am Who God Says I Am. It was actually a book that I wrote. I had started writing this. I want to say it was years ago, and I started writing it. And it actually was a book that I wrote because it was something that I wish I had. So if you read the book, you'll have an understanding, someone that just says, hey, you are basically amazing. You are successful. You are special. You are, and being able to have that understanding. So this book just kind of came from that birth. It was just birthed out of that. And then when I wrote it, I kept saying, okay, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get it done. And then, one day I said, I need to finish this, because not only, just for myself, but working with children on a consistent basis, I believe these words will definitely support their process, the affirmations. So I included affirmations in the book as well. But, here it is. You have this little Black girl, she's crowning herself, then I created the male version, the boy version. And now you have this little Black boy who's crowning himself, as well. But just really having that understanding. I mean, my favorite part of the book, even though all of it's my favorite, but I love the part where the little, and I named them. So you have Kaya and Kyle. So that's their names, because I plan on doing some more with that. But they're looking in the mirror and they're looking at their adult self, and then the reflection in the mirror is handing them their crown and handing them their tiara. And I love that part. But yes. So right now, actually, the girl version is actually available now on Amazon. The boy version, which I just finished, it's pretty much the same book, but the only thing is I just created the verbiage to fit the boy and fit the female. But that should be available in the next 2 weeks. But it's on Amazon, or you can find my link on at CEO Sister on Instagram or Facebook, and you can find my link there as well.
All right, because I wanted to get that in there, because I think
thank you.
Because our children need that positive affirmations in their life, and to have a book that looks like them. Yes. And then to be able to say, the title of it was just, I am who God says I am. I mean, that all by itself, I mean, that's it, right? That's very powerful. So now let's move on to this wonderful conference that we got coming up. And I do want to shout out this Taste Buds Popcorn. Man,
Yes, that's funny because I was going to do the same thing.
They've been promoting on LinkedIn, Taste Buds Popcorn. Please, I know that you're watching. I see you there. Please put in the chat your website or whatever where people can get them some Taste Buds Popcorn, because I love that I've been seeing what you're doing on social media to promote the conference. And we're looking forward to, my wife is going to attend with me. We're looking forward to getting us some Taste Buds Popcorn at the Spring 2023 Business Expo. So now Business Expo coming up June 10th, and I believe it runs from 9 to 3.
9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So listen, I have all my cheat sheets in front of me. So if y'all see me moving around a little bit as I'm gathering all the information, but I am so excited about this event. And Tony, I'm sorry, I got to do the same thing. Listen, the Taste Bud Pop, I appreciate you so much. That, I mean, I see it all the time. That does my heart so well. So I really appreciate you helping to get the word out. So, okay, I'm back. But this 2023 Spring Business Expo, really, again, changing the narrative. That's the theme. Just, and as I mentioned, on the radio station, we all have a story, and just really want, as a community, I don't want to make this about Black community, Hispanic community, but as a community. I mean, I think at some point in as a community as a whole, we can reflect on where we are financially, where we're going financially. And it's just not about today. What are we offering and what are we leaving for our children in the future? So really wanting to change that story of how that looks. I was reading actually this week on just, as a people, as African Americans, how we spend our money. And, we spend so much money on things, honestly, and this is from the report, this is not from LaSharee, things that just doesn't really hold any value. No value. Cell phones, sneakers, things that, and again, I'm not just stereotyping, what I'm going based off of facts. So how do we place ourselves or position ourselves as a community to help change that? Really helping us as a people to understand that, the amount of money that we're spending on these things that just really have no value, that we can transfer that into wealth. We can transfer these things into things that can, we could pass down from generation to generation to generation. And this was the purpose of that, just really getting into a place where just trying to teach, educate. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning and gathering information. But just as a parent, just from, again, my journey and just being able to impart a lot of things, into my own children. My son just bought his first property in January. And he's 20. He just turned 20 in January. So he, just really wanting to we're gonna break this generational, and not having that. I didn't grow up in wealth. I grew up in, I think I mentioned that before, if I could be transparent. I was a teenage mom. I had my first child when I was 16 years of age. I did, I went to college, I went to school. But then in turn, I grew up in public housing. So I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, Brownsville, Brooklyn. That's where I'm from. So when I went back to school, and this is why I'm so passionate about education, because I believe it was through that journey of, sticking it out. I was a mom. I strapped my son to me. I went to school. My son went to school with me. I remember that was my story. And then, moving from that point and getting it to the place where, I became more stable, went on.
Now, this is the same son that just bought the property?
No, actually, this is my middle son. So my oldest son now, I have a 30-year-old. My oldest son is 30. So he actually lives in New York. He lives in Brooklyn. No, he's still in New York. So he's still in Brooklyn. He's in Brooklyn, New York as well. So actually, he's in education. Actually, he graduated from Medgar Evers College. And so he's working in education right now himself. My middle child is in North Carolina A&T, so that's my middle child is my second son. So he just bought his first property. So he's more like he's right here with me. It's like, what you said, Mom? What you doing, Mom? Where we at, Mom?
If your mama's boy, it ain't nothing wrong with it. I got a couple of them myself. So
that's the one I can say, hey, and it's like, okay, I got it. So and I have my daughter, so she's the baby, so she's right here too, but she's right here, and she's like, okay, I'm still, okay, so that's my daughter.
Figuring it out, yeah.
Right. Exactly. So, but just really, and even with her conversation, like she said to me the other day, we were actually talking on the phone, and here it is. She's over here telling people, someone's like, yeah, I'm looking for a place to rent. And she's like, well, Mom, I told them, don't waste your money on renting. You need to buy your place. I said, okay, here she goes.
There you go. That's it.
There you go. So,
and they're seeing the example that you're setting.
Yes.
And so I think that makes a big difference.
Right.
And so what can people expect when they come to the conference? And we got to make sure that we get the link on to, because Ms. Rogers, LaSharee is offering a discount for anyone who is going to register tonight. And so we got that in the chat there for you. So that's the link. It has the discount already attached to it.
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about what we can expect.
Okay, so that day we have a ton. I won't say a ton, but we have multiple. If you don't mind, I'm gonna read off the vendors because I want to make sure everybody is acknowledged. Absolutely. So we have King Bear Fitness and Financial Wellness. We have Maya Mans, Jeremiah Italian Ice. We have Denise Byers, Adobe Cleaning Services, Saquana Mayfield doing Candy Coated, Demetria Moore Out of Life Leadership Coaching Firm, and of course we have Taste Buds Popcorn and Concord. I'm sorry. Then we have Dorian Carter, On Point Partners. We have Kelly Q. We actually have Bank of America, and I'll talk about that when I share a little bit more about. So Bank of America will be there promoting their Better Money Habits series. We have Mothers Making Millions, and we also have CEO Sister. And I actually have a few others that just registered today, so I didn't get a chance to kind of get them in there. So these are just our vendors. Our main stage speakers, we have Dr. Patrick Graham, and I have all the information here, but when I tell you between Dr. Patrick Graham, Dr. Amy Steele, yourself, Dr. Tony Jackson, Dr. Marie Gladden, the main stage speakers are those in different areas. So Dr. Marie is a licensed therapist, and then you have Dr. Patrick Graham, who's a historian, but so many other things that he does, and in the community as far as just kind of working with inequities and things of that sort. So he's bringing all of that to the table. He wants to have a conversation. So he's actually going to be our panel. He's going to create the panel. He's going to kind of facilitate that conversation where he's just pretty much want to share and educate the community on the different reasons. How he explained it. Just want to give meaning to where we are and why we're where we are, and then bring it into where we're going. And I thought that would be great. Dr. Marie, again, as a therapist, just speaking to how we think about money and understand money. Then we have Dr. Amy Steele, just talking about time management, the importance of managing your time, being able to support that process. And then you have yourself, Tony, just talking about generational wealth. So just having those main stage conversations. From those conversations, we will break out into mini sessions. So in our mini sessions, we have, again, Dr. Marie Gladden will continue with a mini session. Tony, you're doing also a mini session in generational wealth. We have Nicole Wyatt, who will be speaking on the art of buying real estate. So she'll be talking about purchasing real estate. Then we have attorney Jasmine Caldwell, estate planning solutions. And I'm loving this part because one, I'll be working with her to work on estate planning. But it's so important because I think sometimes we as a people, we miss it. We do. Of having an understanding, having a will, understanding. And sometimes we feel like, oh, well, I'm not rich. I don't have money. So why should I have these things in place? But in actuality, you don't have to be wealthy or rich, but it also just puts you in a position where you can just start thinking different about things, because there's so many different facets to and understanding the whole estate planning process. So I'm happy that she's going to be in. in the building. We have Michael Horde, understanding the laws of real estate. Again, I've worked with Michael Horde. He's actually my real estate lawyer. So, I know he's coming in with some good stuff, but just understanding the law behind certain things, having someone that can speak to that process, and also having someone that you can go to when you're in the space where you have these questions, because real estate law is tricky. It's tricky. And if you don't have
it's so different from state to state. Yeah. And
Yes.
even can be from county to county, from
Yes.
jurisdiction to jurisdiction. Yeah, absolutely.
Then we have Mr. Marvin Wilson, who'll be talking about funding. So he's talking about credit scores and how you can receive different funding to support your projects that you have, either through just your credit score. There, you can have, there's different ones I didn't even know. You have asset, the ability just to get funding just based on the assets that you have. I didn't even know that. So it's not all about just always having a credit score, but he's going to show, and I don't even want to mess it up because I'm already feeling like I'm getting ready to do that.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, he's already Marvin is already scheduled to be on our show too as a guest coming up in a couple of weeks. So
good. Yes. So the conversation there, and then we have Bank of America, Better Money Habits. So we'll also have them facilitating a workshop where they're just going to speak about, again, just generational wealth. So they're kind of just going to package some things together. So these would be the workshops that will be offered that day. So pretty much there will be an email going out where everyone could just kind of check off which workshop they would like to attend. So there'll be 2 opportunities to attend the workshop. That'll be about 45 to 50 minutes long. Then we'll come back, we'll engage our vendors, we'll have lunch, we'll hear more from our main stage speakers, and then we'll have part 2, which will go into the second part of our workshops for the day. We do have some scholarships that we're wanting to offer. We want to make sure that we, speak about our sponsorships that we did receive, those who did sponsor. So, and just some little in-between conversations as well. We want to have a good time. We got to have a DJ. So we're going to have some music we can move around to, so just conversation. I want us to have a good time learning, having a good time engaging, having a good time networking, having a good time meeting, making connections. There'll be so many people in the room that, one thing I like, when you walk away, you meet someone new. It's, to say it's not what you know, it's who you know. I'm a little indifferent, but I believe it is who you know, but I also think you need to know something. So when you do meet the people that you need to know, you have something.
You can have a intelligent conversation, right?
Exactly. All right. So I need you to know something. I don't want you just going by I need to just be in the room. I mean, I want to challenge you. I'm gonna say it that way. I challenge you to get to the space where you just want to make sure, you have some knowledge. So when you do meet these people, you're in a space where you can have some conversation and you can keep these connections going, if I can say it that way. So
I agree that it will be epic. I think it's going to be a great conference. And once again, everyone, the information is in the chat. It's you can hit that link in the chat. It'll take you to the Eventbrite. And I think that special rate is going to be open for
maybe another hour.
Another hour. Right. Listen, but you have until 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Get it in.
Eastern time to register to be a part of this amazing day. Yes. And I think it's going to be wonderful. Again, it is June 10th, starting at 9 a.m. through 3 p.m. And it's going to be a great time. Just everything that you just laid out. I mean, it is a total conference, and I think people will walk away.
Day.
Huh?
It's going to be a packed day.
I know. I'm like, how are we going to get all this in? How are we going to get all that in, right? So
we're going to be moving. We're going to be moving. It's going to be a bell. Ding, 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 ding.
Time to move, right?
Time to move.
So, I think it's going to be amazing, and I'm looking forward to it. Meeting some of the great people that you've named. Thank you for the invitation to come and be a part of the day. So it's going to be awesome. So, well, here we are. I mean, we're already to the end of the day here.
Really? Already?
Yeah, already. I told you it was going to go by fast. It went by fast. So as we get ready to close, just want to, Michelle, any last words you have before we close down? Any?
I just want to go back to having a vision. When you have a vision for what, like you put your stake in the ground, like this is the vision. We're not going to be shaken no matter what happens to us. It's the vision and we're walking it out. Like that commitment. And I can imagine the conversations that you and your husband had about this vision.
Right.
So,
Yes.
you had to say it to the children.
Yes.
You had to let them know, because I can just imagine being a wife and talking with my husband about, okay, this is what we're doing. This is the future. We don't know the how, but we see where we're going. So I just love that part of your testimony. And you're just now just putting one foot in front of the other, not knowing the how.
Yes. Thank you.
That's faith.
Yes.
Well, and I don't know where I heard it from. So if I could remember where I heard it from, I would give the person credit for saying this, but I don't remember. But it just talked about how when God gives us a vision, right? When God gives us a vision, he doesn't tell us the path that we're going to have to take to get there. Because if he told us what we would have to go through to get there,
wouldn't do it.
No, that's all right.
We wouldn't do it.
I'm good. Good. Right.
You can have that. Like you can have that. I don't want that. No, you're right.
You can have that.
You're right.
And I love one of the things that is shared by Dr. Preach. It's like, what happens is when God gives us a vision, the first thing that happens is there's an obstacle that comes in the vision. And our job is to go around the obstacle, through the obstacle, under the obstacle, over the obstacle, whatever way we have to get through that obstacle so that we can meet that task so that we can go to the next, right? And then as soon as we get past that obstacle, what happens? Another obstacle comes. And then we just keep going. We just keep going because you're either heading into an obstacle, coming through an obstacle, or just coming out of an obstacle.
Yeah. And I believe that, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
But everything that you're saying, I totally agree. One thing I want to add to that is through every obstacle, just be mindful to collect the lessons.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's it.
There's never failures.
Collect it, because I believe that's what prepares you for the next one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because there will be more obstacles. There will be more challenges. And I believe how we go through each and every one of them will determine how we go through the next one. And I also believe that it also, helps you in determining, just how far, because, if God is trying to bring you to a certain level and he's trying to get you to a certain place, there's also in all these challenges and everything that you go through, there's a key. I'm calling it a key. There's a key that's going to give you access to that next level as you continue. It unlocks it. So it's just a matter. Get the lesson. It hurts. It's painful, but we also we serve a God of a God of order. We serve a God. There's a process. There's something in this process, and just trying to have that mindset of not necessarily woe is me. You take those moments and you take those moments to cry. You take those moments to feel. I told myself that, LaSharee, you will feel in this process. I'm not going to just work my way through it. I'm not going to just ignore it. Nope. When it's time to feel, because I need you to do that, because I don't want, I didn't want to become that, okay, well, I'm just going to block it out. No, we're not going to block this out. We're going to deal with it. But I believe it also is positioning me to do exactly what it is that God is calling me to do. And it's continue that process and just continue to build. And so that's just what I believe. I believe, hey, get that lesson. What is it that God, what are you showing me? What are you teaching me? What are you, and all of this, what am I to do with what it is that you have just, put in front of me? How do I work through this?
And not, and just even those things that we go through is not just for us, but it's for someone else. It's for your kids. It's for someone who's watching. It's for someone who's listening tonight. And thank you all for staying all the way through this process and hearing this tonight. And we do have LaSharee's contact information scrolling on the screen, so you guys can see that. If you want to reach out to her, feel free to do so using those two methods. But yeah, it is mind blowing. This is remarkable. So any last thing? I mean, I don't know. You can drop the mic now. I mean, if I didn't wait, I just drop it, but I can't drop it because I got to go buy me another one if I do that. So anything else you want to share with us tonight before we close out?
Well, I'll get to talking, but our time is up. So I'm good. Again, thank you so much for the opportunity. I hope to see each and every one of you. Those are present tonight. Hope you can sign up and I get to see and meet you at the event. That code will be up for another hour or so. So, if you know someone that might want to benefit from this expo, please, just share. And again, thank you, Tony. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you both for having me on the show today. This was truly a blessing. Truly a blessing. Truly believe me when I say this was awesome, and I appreciate your support and everything. So this was great.
Awesome.
And I see someone, Sheila, thank you for being here again. The name of the book.
Is I Am Who God Says I Am by LaSharee Rogers.
I Am Who God Says I Am. The girl version is available on Amazon now. The boy version will be there within
a week or so. I'm actually downloading it, kind of going through corrections. So it'll be there.
Look at Facebook's popcorn. I got 55 minutes.
55 minutes. We ain't gonna talk you all the way through this 55 minutes. We could if we wanted to, but we're not gonna do that tonight. We're gonna get off the air so y'all can go ahead and register tonight. Get the discount.
Yes. I wish I was closer. I would come. I really would.
I know, Michelle. I was thinking I was thinking about you. I was thinking about Kendra. I was thinking about, all these wonderful people that are in my circle that, live all over the country that would really benefit from it. But those of you who are in Charlotte or you're striking distance of it, come on and hang out with us. Come on, hang out.
Maybe next time we can collab and do something else.
Yeah, so we will continue. We will continue on.
Matter of fact, I do know this. I had a conversation with we're mentioning Tony Taylor Harris, and she's thinking about coming up from Houston to attend. And so so she's thinking about that.
If it wasn't my anniversary, I would come.
I understand. It's your anniversary.
You look, Michelle looks for any reason she can get to come to Charlotte, right?
I know. Any reason.
Round trip to Charlotte.
Round trip to Charlotte. CLT. Facebook say just do CLT from wherever you come. And that's right, flying into Concord. I flew from Concord to Orlando for $50. I was like, this was amazing. Yeah. Well, it wasn't Orlando, it was Sanford, which is right outside of Orlando. Yeah, but it's pretty cool. Listen, y'all, we got to close it down. Thank you so much for being here. LaSharee, it was been a blessing to have you on the show, the radio show, and tonight. And Michelle, as always, you my ace, you right there. After my wife, you my girl, but
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle. It was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too.
Listen, everybody have a wonderful night. Next week we'll be on with Stan Matthews for the business networking and the Millionaire Mindset Conference that will take place the following weekend after the spring 2023 Business Expo. This is the Real Money Coach Show. Y'all have a good night. Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.